My name is Rip Sullivan. I represent the 48th District, which is parts of McLean and part of Arlington. You know, we had a press conference just like this one early in the session. What was it, Katie? Second week of session? Early in the session. And we talked about some of these same issues with a sense of urgency. Now, 7 weeks later, the urgency is just palpable because of Parkland. I want to talk to you about HB 198. It would allow friends and family who were concerned about a member of their family, for one reason or another, whether he or she might become violent and harm either themselves or others. It would allow law enforcement, after talking with friends and family, to go to a judge, plenty of due process here, to go to a judge and seek a risk warrant. What that risk warrant would enable law enforcement to do would be to take from this troubled person the weapons he or she had in their possession. As I said, lots and lots of due process. There's something built into the law that would allow that person to go to court and try to get their gun back. I talked about this bill at the beginning of session and introduced it before session even began. Ken and Kay talked about the fate of their bills, that they went to what we all know to be the committee or subcommittee to which gun bills go to die. HB 198 never even got a hearing. No witnesses, Ken, no people coming in to talk about this important bill, never even got a hearing. And now here we are, a week after Parkland. And I'll tell you, ladies and gentlemen, 198 is sort of the talk of the land, right? At that incredible town hall in Parkland, who did we hear talk about a risk warrant bill? He called it a gun violence restraining order. You may have heard that term. It's essentially the same thing, different terminology for here in Virginia. Marco Rubio said we ought to pass one of those. Governor Rick Scott, in response to Parkland, has come out with an entire program that he thinks will help, and it includes a risk warrant. The National Review, not usually a big fan of mine, ran an article recently by David French backing the GVRO concept as being consistent with conservative values and consistent with the Second Amendment because it preserves due process. And if y'all were paying attention yesterday, Vice President Mike Pence suggested that we ought to do exactly this and create risk warrants or GVROs nationwide. Legislators in Congress introduced a bill yesterday that would incentivize states to pass bills just like mine. But yet 198 languishes, never even got a hearing. So I'm here to tell you, ladies and gentlemen, that there is an opportunity. You know, what happens after so many of these events is the gun lobby sort of rhetorically asks that question, well, if we'd had law X or law Y, that wouldn't have stopped what just happened yesterday. What haunts you about HB 198 is that a bill like this in Florida just might have stopped Parkland. And a bill like this in Virginia just might stop the next one. But 198 never got a hearing. Ladies and gentlemen, inaction means indifference. Complacency means complicity. I'm here today to call on the leadership of the General Assembly to give 198 a hearing. If people around the country, if Republicans and Democrats around the country can get together, why can't we here in Virginia? Let's pass 198 and stop a Parkland here in Virginia. Thanks for being here.